Hello and welcome to the England Korfball Grand Final weekend, coming to you from one of the most iconic venues of the Olympic London 2012, the Copper Box Arena. And you just look at the wonderful pictures on your screen of Korfball pitch laid out in this iconic hall. And here as we construct the pitch, you can see all the preparations that we've done for our grand finals of the weekend. And we're here to look at the second semi-final. My name's Tom Brady and I'm joined by my co-host Jess. Jess, how are you feeling about this wonderful occasion?
Oh, it's been fantastic so far and it can only get better. Like you say, what we've put in behind us looks spectacular. It really shows off why we love this sport so much. So I think we're in for a really good game just now.
And we've already seen one game that's lived up to the pressure and the hype that we've given it. Now we've gone on to another. But I just want to bring in Steph Watson, England player extraordinaire, many caps, 7-time league champion. What's it like playing under pressure like this? What's it like playing in this arena?
I mean, it's great playing in this arena. I mean, it's obviously 2,000 spectators this today, and then tomorrow sold out. And playing in that atmosphere is really an incredible experience. And whether you're new to the game or what you've been playing for many years, you're going to enjoy just being here. And it's just a really fantastic experience and a great day out for the family.
And great exposure for Korfball. We're a reasonably small sport. We're played in 60 countries around the world. We've been here playing in England for 60 years. Steph, what are you hoping? You're a coach of a really good club. What are you hoping that this is going to do for Korfball?
Well, I actually think, if you look at who's in the stands, it's families, it's students, it's young children, and they're the big growth areas for Korfball at the moment. And people are just getting involved, they're finding out about it, whether they're watching it right now on the BBC or they've heard about it through a friend and on the website. And I think the growth is going to be massive, because when you watch the game, and you'll see it later, it is such an easy game to sort of be inspired by. Those wow moments, they keep cropping up all the time, and it makes it so easy to get involved with.
And our viewing public are going to notice that men and women play together, and we've all played on different teams with each other, against each other. Jess, so talk us through the social media outlets that we're trying to communicate to people with.
Yeah, so don't forget, you can reach out to us on social media. Predominantly, we like to use Twitter, so you can tell us why you're watching it, telling us if this is the first time that you're tuning into Korfball. What is it that we haven't covered yet? I know a few people have been in touch from the last game, which is fantastic. You can reach us at England Korfball. Also use the hashtag Korfball Finals.
And we've just seen Trojans make it through to the final, and now we're going to see the second semi-finals, hopefully going to be even better clash. And we got Beck from South London, 60, 70, actually maybe almost 70 years old, that club. Really strong, 100 members strong, probably our biggest club. They're going to be really up for this. They haven't won this yet, and they've been so close so often. But Norwich Knights, they're probably the underdogs coming into this. But Steph, I know that you played with them, you've got other friends in there. They've been going probably about 15 years, very strong community club. Tell us a little bit about the club and what you're hoping to see from them today.
Well, they are a lot younger in terms of their age, but in terms of their National League experience, they've had it 10 years or so now in the National League. I was actually part of that team when they went up. And they are good overperformers on the big occasion, so they're not to be written off. They actually beat this Beck team a year ago or so. And so for me, I think that it's going to be a very tight game against a very experienced Beck side.
I think one of the things I hope our viewing public will see when they look at Norwich Knights is the difference in height between some of the players. And we've got one of the most extreme examples, because Korfball can be played by people of all sizes. It helps to be quick. Did I mention you have to be quick? If you're not quick, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you. But we got Josh Rowe, who's like, 6'7".
2 meters tall.
No way, he's 2 meters tall. And Charlie Vogrel, a little bit shorter, as we'll see. But sometimes you're playing on the same pitch. Both great players, both with the same skills. It's a great example of how sport can be inclusive and still competitive.
And let's not forget, Josh Rowe, second in the goal scoring stats for this season. Charlie, who's typically up there, typically one of the biggest goal scorers that we have in the league, but actually this season he finished in 5th.
I think he had 6 weeks off through injury, his coach was saying, so we might have to forgive him that small little thing. But they're up against Beck, who the last 3 or 4, 5, 6 years, they've been almost favourites. They've been probably the second best team in the league every year. The only team to take Trojans to golden goal. the only team to really push them consistently. And what are you expecting from them, Jess?
Oh, they are going to come out strong today. They're boys. Sometimes people say that they are you would not turn away any of the boys from their team. They're really strong, they're really athletic. They will score goals from all over the pitch. And actually they're girls. Normally I think people underrate their girls, but actually they've gained a really key player in Rachel Turner recently, and I think that'll be crucial for them.
And let's not forget Heather Ukwemasi. Seems to be having a really good season. I've liked her all along, but I really like now that she's scoring a little bit more.
Definitely.
All right, so now we're going to go down and have a quick word with our pitchside reporter, Adam, who's down in amongst the crowd.
Hey Tom, cheers for that. I'm here with Jack, big Beck fan. Jack, how do you see this game going?
Well, I mean, I'd love to say that I think it'll be close, but you can see the shirt I'm wearing, so I think it's going to be an absolute walkover. 30 goal difference, what do we reckon?
That'd be huge. I'm loving the outfit, yeah, absolutely. And how's the day been for you? How are you enjoying the Copper Box?
It's been fantastic. I mean, been playing Korfball now for, 15 years plus, and to have a venue like this, first year in the Copper Box, amazing, blew us away, and they've just matched it, if not upped the game this season.
Absolutely. And finally then, who are you seeing as the key matchups in this game? Who's the key player for Beck?
Key player for Beck? Well, I mean, it's a team sport. There's no iron team. Come on. What are we looking at? I think it'd be interesting to see if Blake finds his form. He's pretty hard to mark. Same for Charlie, though, for Knights. I mean, they're two fantastic goal scorers, real goal threats.
Absolutely. Right, it's going to be an amazing game. Back to you, Tom, and Jess on commentary.
Thank you very much, Adam. We're going to speak to you, I think, soon, just before the half starts. And we see the teams warming up, and that team there in black is Beck from South London. It's a two-team club, and they have a very strong base within the community. They've got a really great junior system and some very, very talented players. My name's Tom Brady. I'm joined in the commentary booth with Jess Davies, current England international and all-round incredible korfball aficionado. What are you looking forward to in this game, Jess?
I think we're going to see a really fast-flowing game. We've got two teams here who like to play on the edge. They're really strong. They can move that ball at great pace. Norwich are always known for being very athletic, very, very fit. They take their extra work outside of, just the korfball skills. They take the physical aspects of korfball right to the limit, and they work so, so hard. So I think we are going to see, a real fast-paced game.
And they're going to be playing in white, but we're going to talk you through the teams and the players. And once again, we're going to try and explain some of the rules of korfball to those of you that are not so familiar, but we'll wait till that gets going. We're just waiting for the player presentation to come out. But in the meantime, we'll have a little chat about the sort of players that we are looking to see. And you can see on our screen we've got Beck up. Joanne Wilson, number 1. I really like her style. I used to coach her as a junior, so I have a little soft spot for her. Rachel Turner, awesome sister of Amy Turner. And then down the other end, who are you looking forward to? I like to see Caitlin. She shoots really well from the outside.
Shot.
And look for Joe Bedford, number 9. Very powerful, very experienced, explosive player that can take a game away from a team if they give him too much space.
He can score from anywhere on the pitch. Doesn't matter if he's 9 metres out. If he gets going, he could really score, 6, 7, 8 goals
and
today.
For Norwich Knights, Adele Mitchell, Joanne Cook, and this pairing of Charlie Vogel, and Josh Rowe, I think is one of the most dangerous in the whole of sport. We'll talk you through more. Heather Stokes and Claire Deek, who's one of your favourites. I know you know her very well. Recently gone from Beck. Paul Debenham, silky player, really great physique. Love the way he passes. I love the way he shoots. So great talent on both teams. But let's pick out 2 or 3 players on both sides, Jess, for the non-normal korfball viewer to keep their eye on and watch their style.
Well, you definitely can't take your eyes off of Josh Rowe. Like we just said, 2 metres tall, he is a giant under the post. And typically, he has fulfilled that. If you were with us earlier, we spoke about a collect role, a rebounding position. You'll find him typically under the post and around that area. But actually, this season, he has, like I said, finished the season as second highest goal scorer. He's got 116 goals under his belt this season, scoring on average 7 a game. But the same for Charlie. Charlie's also scoring 7 a game.
You're making my mouth water for this game coming up. But just before we do that, we're going to go and have a look at some interviews that we did earlier on in the day with some of these players.
And I'm joined live in the studio with another very experienced player. Can you just tell me a bit about yourself and who you play for?
So my name's Davish Patel. I'm playing for Beck Korfball Club. Started my career there. I've been there for 23 years now. So quite some time. Came through the junior ranks there, and yeah, it's just now doing it for the seniors for a few years, shall we say.
A few years. So you came through the juniors, but how was it that you actually got into korfball?
So where we train, that's where I went to school. So we had a link with one of the PE teachers there, and I've always been up for trying any sports out. So went along to a lunchtime session, a taster session, and just loved it. And well, I've not looked back since, really. 23 years on now.
That's brilliant. So what are the benefits of playing korfball? Why do you play it above any other sport?
I think it's just the mixed gender element. Obviously, just brings a whole new dynamic to the sport. Typically, boys' sports, if you go to football, cricket, those kind of things are very male-dominated, and you kind of have a different environment of feeling. Always having people trying to be that alpha male. So it's a very different dynamic. Obviously, in korfball, you've got that mixed gender element. The girls are more than happy to put you back in your place if if you try and step out. So I think it's just that whole element of things, and there's no set positions. You get to do everything, and I think that's just great.
Brilliant. And very quickly, how easy is it to get involved?
Actually, very easy, especially nowadays. I think there's so many more clubs that are there now compared to back when I started. So I think it's just a question of, if you're interested and you're keen, check out englandkorfball.co.uk. You have a club finder there. There's so many clubs that are out there now across all the breadth of the country. So I think it's relatively easy to get involved now.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Dav.
Thank you.
Joined in the studio by another player of one of today's semi-finals. Tell me a little about yourself and how you got into korfball.
I'm Charlie Vogwell. I'm the captain of Norwich Knights Korfball Club. I started playing korfball at primary school and then dropped it for a few years and then picked it up again playing for my local team, Norwich City.
So korfball's quite big in Norwich, isn't it?
Yeah. It's one of the sort of hubs of korfball around the country. We're probably playing in like 20, 30 different primary schools. So like relative to the rest of the country, a lot of the people you'll ask will actually have heard of korfball, which is quite good.
And so what was it that attracted you to korfball?
I think for me, I do a lot of sports, and for me it's just the best sport in terms of like cooperation, and that you can't have one player kind of dominating it. It takes a lot of teamwork to score the goals. You get loads of different types of goals. It's not like all the shootings from the same position. There's loads of different things going on, and I guess you just have to be like an all-round player, defending and attacking. And obviously the mixed sex part of it is great as well.
And so what else does korfball bring? Because a lot of people have spoken about the social side of korfball.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's been huge, and I think that's one of the main appeals of that it's growing in universities as well. That it is like a very social sport. So you've already got like a ready-made sort of party afterwards with like men and women there. So there's a lot more to it than just playing on the pitch. It's a real kind of family atmosphere. Brilliant.
And just finally, how easy is it to get into korfball?
Really easy. There's clubs all over the country. You can always find your local one on like englandkorfball.co.uk. And all the clubs are going to be so welcoming to new players. Like they're getting new players all the time. So anyone picking it up just wouldn't be on their own at all. So
brilliant. Thank you very much, Charlie.
Cool.
So it looks like we're going to go through those lineups because we were a little bit quick last time. So I was just saying, number 3 there, Blake Powerful. Look for him. Powerful. He's got the longest arms in korfball. What a beautiful shot. And he's playing with Davish Patel, who's a player I admired, played with for a long time. And I was just mentioning Joe Bedford is quite spectacular. But Kieran Hicks is the sort of player that's on having a season where he could win this for them, Jess.
Yeah, he's a great player on and off the pitch. He's a lovely player. In fact, they all are, but they're all lovely people.
And we've already talked about the combination of Charlie and Josh. I'm not too familiar with the girls, so Heather Stokes and Claire Deek. Claire Deek's going to score some goals today. I really can feel that.
Definitely.
Paul Debenham, smooth as can be, dances across the floor, and then Luke Coit-McKenzie, who I saw at this final for the first time last year. I was blown away by him. I thought, who's this kid that I haven't seen in all these years? And how come he's ended up on this pitch and I don't know him? So I thought it was a really good performance from them making the final last year. Can they do it, Jess? Can they go one bet? Okay, can they make the final first, and then we'll worry about when they play Trojans? What are they going to have to do to beat this talented Beck team?
Both teams could certainly take it. This genuinely is a game that could go either way. They finished 2nd and 3rd in the regular season, but it all comes down to this. Now, John Denton, both coaches actually. John Denton, who is coach of Beck, and Joe Sterling, who is coach of Norwich. They're both master tacticians. They'll
Absolutely.
have thought this out. They'll have watched the game from last
Yeah,
year. They'll
absolutely.
have really planned as to who they want to set up against who, and the kind of tactics they're going to employ to make sure that it's going to be a really, really tough game for us.
Joe Sterling's the type of guy, and he's only a young guy, that you find yourself in a foreign bar somewhere in a foreign land watching some korfball. You can have a conversation with him about nuances that you never thought were possible about korfball.
Completely.
John Denton, a little bit less experienced. I think it's his second year, let's say, in this high-profile position that he's got with Beck.
I know he has currently been assistant coach to Corinne Buckland, who was assistant coach earlier, for the England under-19s recently.
Yeah.
So I know he is getting a lot of experience under his belt.
And this England system, for people don't know, England play at many different levels, something from under 15, under 17, under 19s, under 21s. I think they've just stopped under 23s now, haven't they, and brought that back to under 21s. And we've got a senior team going to Durban in the World Championships at the beginning of August, which would be really exciting. We just wait for the teams to come out. Nice atmosphere, nice feel in the hall at the moment. And this is probably the most grand entrance that I've ever seen in korfball. Though I like the Dutch final where they came out of the crowd this year was pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget, Tom, the Dutch final draws a live audience in that arena of the Ziggo Dome.
Yeah.
They drew 17,000 people.
Yeah.
The English Korfball League is actually the second biggest final.
Yeah.
So we're up there. That's the kind of place that we need to be aiming for.
And we're punching above our weight because we're probably ranked about 5th in the world at the moment, and getting more difficult as the years go by. In particular, as a lot of the Asian teams start playing, and they're changing the game a little bit because they're playing some really exciting korfball and some really interesting stuff. And we look at the lights. Oh, nice. So Davish Patel, captain of Beck, great teammate of mine for many years. Probably the best player never to win Korfball League.
Easily, and probably the most deserving player to have never won as well.
Yeah. Caleb Fitzgerald, Joe Bedford. Got more of a bodybuilder build, which you'll notice as it comes on. Rachel Turner, we've just seen her sister Amy playing to great effect for Trojans. And then Blake Palverman, really, this guy is unstoppable. He's been touted to go and play in foreign leagues because he is so popular, and bringing up the end, Kieran Hicks. So Jess, I'm looking at that Beck side. Oh, let's not forget Joe Nelson, and I'm not seeing many weaknesses.
No, not at all, not at all. Rachel Turner's only joined the side very recently. Actually, she was at another rival club, made the move over to Beck, and she's only bolstered that squad. They're a really, really strong team, but having said that, I mean, Norwich, they are really dynamic. They're really athletic. They can easily take this to the wire.
So Luke Coit-McKenzie, I was saying he was a young lad that surprised me last year with the quality of his play and the speed. Joanna Cook.
An experienced Scotland international, Joanna Cook.
And Paul Debenham, keep an eye out for him, number 9. And really, viewers, I want you to tell me, which of these players do you think moves the most smoothly? And for me, my vote goes with Paul Debenham. And there's big man mountain, Josh Rowe. I was just explaining how I did used to hate playing for him. I don't tend to actually be anywhere near his level at the moment. But he is very, very powerful. This is a great turn that they've built. And there's Charlie Boggle, the performer, the showman. I reckon he's going to top score this game. It's just, can Beck score more? Because Charlie's going to get his goals, whatever, because he shoots so well, and he is such a powerful athlete. And wow, just as the atmosphere builds, what we're going to do is we're going to cut down to Adam pitch side. It's just going to bring us some of the atmosphere and some insight from some of the fans.
Here with Joe Sterling, Knights coach courtside. Joe, what's the key to winning this game?
Good question. I think the key's got to be game management. I don't think the game's going to be won in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, first half, 40 minutes. It's how controlled and disciplined we can be at the end of the game.
For sure. Who's looking hot today? Who's looking hot for Knights?
We've got so many goal scorers. You can pick any one of the starting 8, 5 or 6 on the bench. They can all score goals. They can all cause trouble.
Awesome. Good luck. Tom, back to you.
Typical Joe Sterling, being very non-committal as he has to be. He's got a really delicate squad to manage. They all get on very well, but basically, Korfball is a team sport where all 8 players will shoot and all 8 players will have to defend. That's, I think, what makes it, for me, a special sort of contest. You'll notice that each team is divided into 2 halves, so we call them an end or a division. Davesh Patel in black and yellow, the famous colours of the Beck Korfball Club. Nice ball over the top. There's Blake Palfman's first shot. That's why we like him, because he dances along the floor and he reaches up, and Joe Wilson squeezes round and misses one. Oh, good start, good oppression, well picked up by Davesh Patel. You can actually jump out of the end and off the side and pull it back so long as you can do it before they touch the ground. Decent shot. Oh, decent attacking from Beck. Great start.
That's why Rach Turner's made the move to Beck, because she can do this. She can play in these big games. She can play in these semi-finals and maybe even in the final, and she will score goals.
Well, I'll tell you what, that looked pretty easy for her.
But she was playing against Claire Deek, so that's not going to be easy going forward.
Not at all. Well, Claire will just adjust her position a little bit on her and start coming out. Oh, Josh Rowe! Nice, baby. That's where he's been getting his goals. Stonewall penalty. Kieran Hicks in black for Beck, coming up and fouling while there was a free player. Referee's going to give that a penalty as a loss of scoring opportunity all day long. Brings Josh Rowe to the penalty line. No one can come in until after the ball leaves his hands, and we'll probably see about 90% of those. But when they miss them, that's when it gets exciting, Jess. That's where the mental pressure comes on.
Oh, completely. And it can be a mental game. You know, it's not just about the physical performance. It can be really touch and go as to who can hold their nerve.
Good structure from Beck in the 2-2, so 1 at the post, 1 in the feed, 2 on the outside. Joe Bedford gets a shot up, but that's going to be difficult for Kieran Hicks, number is it 31, against big Josh Rowe. He's going to have a difficult day today, I'm telling you. Oh, that's good. Okay, Davesh Patel against is that Luke Coit-McKenzie, and that's great to see Blake Palfman, number 3 in black for Beck, against the smooth player that I was talking about, Paul Debenham earlier on, number 9, just bringing the ball in from the sideline. Ball goes out again.
It's interesting to see that some of the players have actually switched who they were initially defending. So that's a term that we might use, switching. So although we've said that boys have to mark boys and girls have to mark girls, you can change the specific player that you are playing against.
And you can double team. So 2 boys can really worry about one dangerous player. It is a risky strategy because it will leave another player free to do some mischief. Oh, nice movement. Oh, look at the Blake Palfman, big hand, early blam. Crowd love that. And now he's coming round to collect it. That's why he's so respected internationally and domestically as not only a great talent for the future, but as someone who's a talent for now. And that's a poor ball, I think, from Kieran Hicks. And doesn't happen too often, but it just shows that Korfball is a passing game, and then that's an unlucky one to try and pass the ball and have to have it hit the post, but it does happen. That's sloppy from both teams starting.
I think there's a bit of nerves in the air, you know.
I wouldn't have expected of these teams. Well, of course you would a little bit, but yeah, that's just they'll get that out of their system. I won't worry them too much. Joe Bedford. Oh, nice scoop position. Him and Charlie know each other so well, so that's going to be a great contest. There's big bragging rights between those two.
They've been playing against each other for 20 plus years now, so they know each other inside out. Joe, a very strong physical player. Charlie, probably the fastest player that we still have in the league.
Yeah, fastest. It's certainly the smallest top-level player shortest top-level player that we got. And it's good we've seen an early, let's say, shot clock pressure, forcing a decent one-handed shot up out of Caitlin Fitzgerald for Beck. And there's Norwich Knights straight into the feed. Nice. They'll look to keep moving the ball fluently. You can hold the ball for as long as you want, but they're under a 25-second shot clock. In addition to that, the referee will call time wasting if he thinks someone's actually not actively playing to score. Oh, Paul Debenham ran, takes charge, gets shot up, and he's calling a charge. And really, that's brave from Rachel Turner, and you will just see on. So look, she just gets in the line, holds a position, takes a charge. That's courage there from Rachel Turner.
Good goal.
Oh,
no! Beautiful move.
What a wonderful ball from Joe Bedford to Kieran Hicks. This is what I love about Korfball. It's the combinations. Look at that.
The finish, though, the finish.
The finish was awesome. One-handed, and he was drifting past the post. Luke Coit-McKenzie, poor shot, maybe not a good time. So tactically, teams look to try and put a collect in, not all the times, because they want to retain. You want to get more than one shot. And they will strategically keep moving the ball around until they think not only did they clear for a shot, but also they think that they've got in a good position to collect it.
Another good example of the girls switching then.
Joe Bedford squeezing it round. Nice little flick back from Kieran Hicks. Good shot from Joe Bedford, but Charlie Vogel, anything that hits the floor, he's first to it.
Yeah.
One of the hardest working players in Korfball. And you see, Korfball, one of the rare sports, or my only sports, where you can actually go behind the basket, behind the goal of the competition to play. And so what that makes for is a 360-degree tactical game. Can be, let's say, a little bit difficult to get used to, but once you're used to it, you probably don't want to ever go back to linear games again.
No.
Let me get my Korfball plug in there. Obviously, feel free to have a look for us on social media. If you are interested in playing, go to englandkorfball.co.uk and we're more than happy to welcome you. Caitlin, a little bit far out for her. The girls operating on the extreme distance which they'll shoot. Kieran to Bedford.
Poor pass, but he was able to get the shot away, which
It's
was
a little
quite
bit
impressive.
low, and it's the quality of the passing sometimes which will determine how good the shot is, and that's a better pass, better shot, good goal. Beck take a 2-goal lead. Still early days though, Jess. Eh?
Oh yeah, we've only been playing for 6 minutes. Like we said, Joe Sterling, a very experienced coach. He knows what he's doing. These players know what they're doing. So yeah, I'm not worried by this at all at the moment. Del Mitchell will shoot from range.
Easy for Josh Rowe to pick up there. Charlie, nice movement to the inside, to the outside. Girls working together. Decent shot.
That's unfortunate. That was a nice setup.
I think it didn't time so well with the collector coming in,
Yeah.
but that's good. There's good signs from Knights, showing that they're looking confident in the style that they want to play. They won't be dictated to.
And this is it. You can see the difference in the tempo. So Knights are just slowing it down,
Yeah.
just getting a few passes in before they try and actually make an attacking move.
Not a great shot from Charlie, but he's not one to be shy,
He's not going to turn down the shot.
especially with the second shot. What we find in Korfball is after the first shot, you've got a little window of 2 or 3 seconds where defenders if the defenders don't get the ball, they'll be in disarray, and good teams will actually look to use that window to take another shot, to either score or get another rebound. Joe Wilson, long extension, ball shot. Yeah, they're definitely playing a lot slower than Beck.
Yeah.
But this, quite often, this really works. It unsettles a team when they Josh Rowe too easy. That's what I was saying about double teaming.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they double
both
team
boys went to
Charlie
cover
Vogel. You see both defenders going to one player, leaving Josh Rowe open. I don't think Josh Rowe had that shot in him 2
I
years
was just
ago.
going to say, historically, and I don't think Josh will mind us saying this, historically you probably could have done that to Josh. You would try and double team Charlie.
Especially Charlie, yeah.
And leave Josh free. But actually this season,
Yeah. Josh having
The man can score.
season of his life. He's looking really good. He's always looked fit. And what a great tactical option he is. Just Charlie can shoot and shoot.
which is why historically they've always played together. Charlie gets free and he knows he can take any shot he likes because Josh will win it under the post.
Yeah, and the pass from Charlie weak, tried to bounce it in, easily intercepted, and Beck bring it out. So the game switches over every 2 goals. I'll try and remember to explain that as we do see the teams switch over. So the teams will switch attack and defence after the next goal. Doesn't matter who scores it. So at 4-2 or 3-3, the teams will switch. So if you were in attack, you are now in defence. And it looks like, despite the athletic efforts of Blake Palferman, Norwich Knights get that. There's
Both-
Joe. Okay, a little bit extra confidence. He's stepping up from the outside. Sorry, Jess.
No, both teams got a massive fan base in the arena tonight, so that's going to make this game electric.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the wire.
I mean, geographically, I think it suits the London team Beck, but there's a big Norwich contingent have come. I think they sense this could be their year. They made the final last year, but they've got to get past Beck. Oh, great drive from Joanne Wilson, looking a little bit faster and more aggressive than I remember seeing her last season. And that's Patel, decent shot, but Paul Debenham coming a long way to get it.
And this is where we were talking about the ebb and flow of the game. So yeah, Beck looked really, really dominant for the first few minutes. And actually, it's calmed down a bit now. The
Yeah.
players have got into their rhythm and had a bit of a stalemate for the last minute or so. But
Yeah. Well, that's what you find. Good teams adapt their defence. They have a look at who's attacking and they have a look at the style they want to play, and they're going to try and force them into another style. They're going to try and, in particular, deny them that position that Norwich Knights have just taken up. That's the feed position, I'm going to call that. And good teams don't allow that position to be given up too easily. And you can see that's, well, so exactly.
Well read.
Joe Wilson coming in, the lady Joe Wilson, number 1, coming in to try and get the ball, and well read from Norwich Knights, picking it off. That's what we call front defence, where it's almost an interception defence, and most teams will play it at some stage during the game. Charlie, not his best shot, but he always game for a shot, and when he gets hot, look out. Patel. Okay, nice ball over, good expansive, good play. Now they get free shot, well held. Under shot clock pressure, 6 seconds to go. We're going to have to see this one go up, and it's going to have to hit, and it does. Oh, great collection, Joanne Wilson.
That's what she can offer. That's brilliant. You know, we've seen her driving in, but equally, why not go to the post? Girls, you can do it too.
Yeah, played a lot of volleyball. Apparently was getting on very well. I'm really glad that she, I mean, it's good. Volleyball's a great sport, but I'm really glad that she did end up concentrating on korfball. And Beck just, they're playing okay, but they're not knocking it down. I think
I'm interested to watch the way that Norwich Knights are bringing the ball out of defence. So when they've won the ball back in this half that we're watching now, when they win the ball back, just watch how long they're taking to pass that ball out. Because typically teams will just throw it straight down the other end, but actually Norwich are taking their time, and I wonder if that might be a tactic that they might employ later on in the game.
Okay, so that there, what you saw, is probably one of the most difficult decisions for a referee to call. He has to decide who has the line, the attacker or the defender, when they make contact there. And I think he got that one right. He's called that a charge. He said the defender had the position, had the line, stood their ground, and the attacker ran into them, and he's going to give the ball to the defence. But sometimes, if it goes the other way, it's generally a penalty. And that's another good decision from our referee, Paul Jeans. Calling exactly the same infringement down the other end. Beck quick into the 2 boys on the inside, what we call 2-2. Decent shot.
Oh, great athleticism from Blake Palfreman, who just slaps the ball back onto the pitch into Rachel Turner's hands.
Nice, over the top, Patel. Oh, I was about to say finishes one-handed, but he doesn't.
But even Rachel passed that ball beautifully. She was completely off balance, but she managed the lob really effectively.
They've got so many options, Rachel Turner.
Just not going in at the moment, but they are playing some really nice, dynamic korfball.
But, for Norwich Knights, this is good because they are the underdogs. And they just need to stop Beck from starting well. Good combination between the boys. Josh Rowe looking good. Great contest. And that's the challenge of being a shorter player. But Charlie jumps so well, it doesn't tend to hurt him so much. But Kieran Hicks come over the top, took it away from him as Davish Patel finds himself alone. Luke Coit-McKenzie and Paul Debenham missing in action as they both go after double team the other player.
Sold him the fake pass.
Great reading of the game there from Davish Patel. I'm not quite sure who would have called this timeout. The scoreboard hasn't updated.
I think it was Norwich Knights. I think Joe Sterling called this one.
Yeah. So they've only got 2 goals after 13 minutes, which is low scoring for them. They will need to get going. I think our scoreboard's probably wrong at the moment, and that is 4-2. So who are you liking at the moment, Jess?
Well, I mean, Becca playing some really nice stuff. Like I say, they're not necessarily putting it away yet. I'm liking what Rachel Turner's bringing to the game.
Yeah.
She's really athletic,
really
Beck, not afraid to drive at her player. Claire Deek hasn't quite come into the game yet. Haven't noticed her as much as I would like, but I think she will.
Yeah. So just a reminder, it's Norwich Knights we're looking at there in white, the underdogs, shall we say? Less experienced, but really decent skilled players. And the team in black and yellow are Beck from Tooting in London. Paul Debenham using the rolled up sleeve technique. You don't see too often in the boys, some of the girls there. And actually Beck, okay, so this is actually Norwich Knights are trying to slow them bringing it down, but they didn't look too much in a hurry. Good combination. Poor pass, well picked up by Joe Bedford, finds himself around. Oh, he just rolls off his finger, and It's Bedford free, another shot.
2 great collects there from Kenzie Baldock.
Absolutely fantastic. She's one of my favourite collectors in the girl front. She plays quite a unique position sometimes where she hangs off the post and collects because she just bullies her player out of it, quite legally. Korfball it's got a semi-contact, but in particular around the post you can exert more force. So long as you're not aggressive, you can be strong and you will be strong. And there's a great competition at the post there. Well won by Norwich Knights. Oh, and a great step-up feed from Debenham. That's good attacking. Shot just lets them down just a little bit.
Some nice team defence from Beck there as well. I could see Rachel Turner's just keeping an eye on Joanne just to see how she's getting on against Claire Deek, just in case she does need to cover. It'll be interesting to see, though, if Norwich will recognise that and try to exploit that later.
And Kieran Hicks, that hurts Beck a little bit there. We just saw a shot of the Joe Sterling, the Norwich coach, but that's a beautiful shot. And you see the really good position Joe Bedford for Beck had at the post. He was going to collect that anyway. Oh, Coit McKenzie squeezes one up in the smallest of space, but they don't get the collection, and that's one shot and out. There's 0 shots and out, or one shot. They're not getting enough retention at the moment. In particular, it's a quite short end they've got there. Oh, Joanne Wilson. Kenzie Baldock. For Beck, comes round, gets the referee's making a signal for, got a slap on the arm, which, yeah, probably right. I trust Paul Jeans in many things. Joe Bedford tucks it away. Oh, good start for Beck.
Yeah, looking really strong.
Yeah. What do Norwich need to spark them up? Well, I suppose having Charlie and Josh in attack is going to spark.
I mean, they need Charlie just to bring a bit of his showmanship. I mean, that's what they look to him for. It's not, it's not. Some people deem it as arrogance, and it's not that. This is how he G's his team up. This is what he brings.
Yeah.
You hate it when you're playing against it, but you love it when it's on your team.
But I've heard it described unfair because Charlie does play for England, but quite often he gets that gig where he comes on as a sub to try and change a really difficult game. And sometimes coach won't trust him from the beginning just because they characterise him as like a hot street player. But I think he is more than that. His vision is great. His all-round court sense is good. He's just a little bit shorter, but he makes up for it. So, yeah, let's look for him. This is him about to pick the ball up there, number 8. And wow, beautiful ball. Doesn't quite find its way through, but that's the risk that they have to take. Try and get something going for themselves. Okay, Charlie trying to find space, but I think that was good defence from back there for Kieran Hicks.
Really well read by Kieran Hicks.
And obviously, if Knights are going to start to get themselves going, they have to stop Beck from scoring too quickly. And like I say, I really kind of like this end. It's looking really good with Rachel Turner. Looks strong, beautiful pass, great movement. Back again, Palferman. Now look at that, just beautiful, beautiful shot. And well collected from Claire Deek from Norwich Knights. That's a good attack, but it's a short attack. But Josh Rowe staying out, Boy staying out. Charlie goes in, allows Josh to shoot. Good contest between boy and girl, won by boys this time. Okay, this is better retention. And now they just need to just calm it a little bit. I think there's really good experience from Josh Rowe. Just like, okay, don't pump it out. Let's just take up our collect position. See if we can get Charlie in the best spot. Oh, Kenzie Baldock's gone. Looking for it. Gets away with it.
That pass from Josh there was light.
Oh, wasn't it? Oh, really great commitment from both players. And Kieran Hicks, pretty spectacular. Oh, Wilson driving in again. Turner. Okay, now they've got their big boy at the post, which is Josh, and that's going to free up the three of them on the outside, but Josh come out now to try and take some shots. That's sloppy, though.
Charlie's trying to draw Kieran out to him, but he's not really falling for it. He's just maintaining a really nice defended position.
He's going out far enough to just make that shot difficult, but he's not allowing him to come round him and drive past him on the inside, and that's a shot clock violation. 25 seconds gone, didn't hit the Korf. Probably going to happen 2 or 3 times a game, although you've end up maybe 5 or 6 attacks end up in shot clock pressure where you have to do something extreme. But that's worrying for Knights. really, they're not playing bad. They just haven't got going. And yeah, you're right. They are bringing it out slowly to try and frustrate Beck. But at some stage, they're going to have to just speed it up a little bit because the time is working for Beck at the moment. But 4 goals is nothing. You know, they could score 4 goals in 4 minutes, so it's like no reason to panic. Yeah, okay. Decent shot off the back. Nice ball going through.
And that's the important thing for Norwich Knights. We spend a lot of time talking about some key players that they've got, and then there are some players who are. It's not fair to say. It's just lesser known, lesser respected players, if you like. But actually, it's going to be crucial for them if they can step up and if they can score their 1 or 2 in these games across the pitch. Then that really could be the difference.
Okay, so that's quite an arcane old rule that if it touches your foot, then you lose possession of it.
Or anything below the knee.
Yeah, anything below the knee. I think the intention was like to stop players trying to kick the ball when people are putting their hands on it. I did speak to one of the grandees of the game who said they're looking at taking that out because like that wasn't dangerous. There was no need for that to be a restart. The rules of Korfball have evolved over. It's over 100 years old, the game, and the rules have always evolved. Oh, Balverman from downtown, little stake in the heart that he's put in there for Knights.
There. I'm amazed he wasn't off the pitch.
So I was just saying that the rules of Korfball have evolved over the 100 years or plus that we've been playing the game, but in particular the last 10 years. Oh, nice, Paul Debenham. What we see is the ball coming over the top is perfect. Korfball is a passing game, looks like we're not going to get the replay of it, but that was a really beautiful ball over the top and a lovely finish. And the pull pass from Beck just to add an extra little bit of momentum tonight.
Yeah. Paul Debenham, who's looking good, he's still in attack, so hopefully if he gets another quick goal, I mean, they're only 3 behind. We've played over 20 minutes in the first half now, so there's only less than 10 to go.
Yeah.
Relatively low scoring.
Like it's a game for sure.
In comparison to the last semi-final.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, compared to especially both of these teams, they're high-scoring teams. I'm going to put the first 5 minutes down to pressure, and at the moment, I think defence is just dominating, and they're just putting too much physical pressure on players. And Kieran Hicks tries to take the ball out of Josh's hands. Just not known for for taking that very well. And his partner Charlie Vogel wants to get in and have a little bit of a word. Okay, Palferman.
Blake Palferman just reads the ball so well. And it helps when your arms are that long.
Yeah, like I'd been saying on commentary, for a couple of games, hasn't he got really long arms? And I went down and looked. They are pretty long arms.
Oh, they are.
Not that you have to have long arms to play Korfball, but decent length arms are probably a good thing. Caitlin Fitzgerald under pressure, not a great shot, but well collected by Joe Bedford. Second shot's going to come short, and Josh Rowe finds that pretty easy. Knights bringing it out a little bit quicker. I'd like to see them bring it quicker and bring a bit more momentum into the other end. And actually see, because it's not working for them at the moment. They've got 4 goals. I think they have to change the tempo.
Yeah.
And that's generally the way, beautiful.
Great
Finds
vision.
it in space. Oh, decent shot. Doesn't work out. Yeah, but I don't think Beck are going to be happy with 7 goals either. They're not going to be sitting there on the bench going, "Oh, aren't we doing well because we're 3 goals up?" Because that's not going to last long. So tactics and defence probably just dominating just at the moment. There's a nice ball over the top, but that's poorly handled. Nice ball back from Vogel. Oh, decent shot from Debenham.
Joe Sterling, coach for Norwich Knights, just on his feet. I don't think he's concerned yet. He really doesn't look worried. Joe just directing where he wants Kieran to go.
Joe gets a good shot up, bounces, but well picked up by Caitlin Fitzgerald, who's the girl there holding the ball. Good shot, still very young, but collects very well as well. So we're looking, you know, a team here that are great all-rounders, and that's fantastic. That's a classic Joe Bedford move. Oh, no. And he looks like he ran into Josh Rowe, and Charlie Bogwell just getting in and just making sure that, I'll tell you what, like Bedford and Rowe, I'd like to see that clash, but certainly not on a korfball pitch.
No.
But if we see a replay, then we can just perhaps decide, did Josh move into to Joe as he got round? I know okay, we'll just see the replay is coming. So, I know some early replays anyway, that's okay. It's just going to give Josh a little bit of time to come together.
No, he took quite a big fall there, so I think they just want to make sure that he is all right, and actually he has composed himself before we play on.
Bet coach John Denton coming up, and he's making these big grandiose things, and are we going to see? Yes, we are. So Joe Bedford's round. He's round. Good position. Oh,
I wonder if there was just a shove.
Yeah, I don't think Joe's.
I
I think he might have just caught Joe unawares. I don't think Josh didn't power it in.
No.
Unless there was a little bit of elbow in there. We won't know that until after the game. Okay, good setup. Decent shot. That pass was not good. Pass really needs to come at head height. And that allows the player to have the threat of shooting it or passing it or moving on to it.
Nice to see a really good competitive fight there for the ball between Claire Deek and Rachel Turner. They're athletes just as much as the boys are.
Yeah.
Another great interception from Blake Palfrey. He's reading.
How many interceptions? Like 4, 5, 6?
Easily.
That's going to break your heart eventually. So they're going to have to do something with that, and it's down to Paul Debenham, really, isn't it? Who's playing against him? He's going to have to threaten him, like with goals, make him back off that line a little bit, or the passing's going to have to be a lot better.
If you watch the girls under the post now, because we've got two girls trying to dominate that feed and that collect position, you would have just seen that the Norwich girls were both switching. I think we'll get the ball back.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think Paul could quite see from that position who had the ball.
Referee's just a little bit slow catching on to what everybody else knew, though our assistant referee, Steve Jones, very experienced as well, he had seen that. Okay, they have just up the ball tempo. That's what I like. That's what they need to do. The tiki-taka korfball, where they give and go and move.
That's what Norwich is so good at.
And they can be, but I think they've come in with this tactical, maybe like game plan to slow it down, and just hasn't worked for them really.
No, I think Joe's a very clever coach, like we've said, and at half-time he's really gonna. I think he will change things.
He will change things. He will change things.
They'll come out with a brand new tactic, and I think it really could change the game.
I see Stan Dunn warming up, who's a good quality player, can score. So changes in tactics and style they're going to have to do, and maybe changes in personnel. Debenham, that's better. So he scores a couple of those, and Blake Palfrey's going to have to back off him, like in any sport, really. You put your defender in a box, make him play honest, because at the moment he's just disrupting them too much. That's kind of decent, but there's no attacking intent in that, I don't think. They let it float round, and Jess has just pointed out that there's a little bit of a scuffle going on down the end. You're not seeing. Well, not a scuffle.
Just two players just having a friendly chat.
A discussion. We'll see if we can pick that up a little bit more.
Interesting. I can see Chloe Swain warming up at the end of the pitch. At the end of you can't see at the moment on your screens. Yeah. Oh, Claire Deek just being prevented from shooting. Great defence from Joanne Wilson.
Coit McKenzie, she didn't get it back. Doesn't matter because they're going to score that.
Turned away. Heartbreak.
That is probably the thing you hate most as an attacker when you're free.
You've worked so hard. You get around your player and then somebody's turned away from you.
It does happen, though. There won't be crosswords, but there might be something said about it in the dressing room. And Becca just fluent without being aggressive or particularly dangerous, I think. So this is still, even though Knights have only scored 4 goals, which is a shockingly low tally for the amount of time that they've played, they are just so far not out of this game because Beck should have gone on and continued, what they did to get to 7 goals.
Exactly,
But
they have stopped Beck from scoring, so something's working for them in defence, certainly. Great clip from Heather Stokes, but she doesn't put it up.
It's difficult from that. Yeah, there. Okay, that's
Why.
better. That's why she didn't put it up.
She knew he was there. She knew she could have the collect.
Good. This is
Sees him off
classic
the back
goal.
of the post.
As I was saying, in the 2 or 3 seconds after one shot, defence are in disarray. You can give it out, generally find a decent, nice, clean shot, and they score that. And now they're back to 2 goals. Uh-oh. Okay, so I wouldn't call these injuries just yet, unless he might have hurt his hip. But showing it's pretty tough out there. This is the elite athlete end of the sport. Let me see, comes down.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be
Dead leg, I think.
any combination of hip angle or knee. But
He's all right. He's up again.
he's up and moving again.
So Beck will get the ball back. I don't know if he was deemed to have been pushing through, maybe.
Yeah.
When he fell over.
Okay, so we got the 2 goals on the outside. And looks like Beck gave them that shot. Sorry,
Norwich, yeah.
Norwich gave them that shot, and maybe that's what they need to do, is actually start forcing the lesser shooters to shoot. As with any sport, that's what you want to do. Is you want to cut down the shooting percentage from your opposition, and quite often the best way to do that is to stop their best player shooting and get somebody else to shoot.
We find ourselves in a very different position, Tom, than we were. It's a lovely goal from Charlie.
Charlie Vogel.
Hopefully he can get going now.
And I tell you what, now suddenly 2 goals have gone in, and Norwich are still behind, but they've got the momentum. And Palfreman, for all of the great things he's done earlier on, he's just slowed, and now he's missing. Patel was big and strong, and Debenham can't get there, but the ball's still alive, and Patel's underneath the post.
A bad pass means that Debenham has time to regain his defended position.
And under shot clock pressure, they've had to do something. And it's not going to go, so that's is it a shot clock timeout? No, a foul come in there. So we got 48 seconds to go in the half.
Interesting to see if we can see a goal in this last 48 seconds.
Yeah, I tell you what, if Norwich scored this, I would not want to be in that back dressing room at half time. There will be a talking to, because they started the best. They controlled everything that Knights have had,
but where have their goals gone?
They couldn't take it on from there.
Free pass.
Okay.
Free pass.
All right. So this is a free pass. So this is for a disruptive foul. So now everyone else 2.5 meters away. They cannot enter that circle until the player moves the ball. So Charlie will look to keep it very still after the whistle has gone, until if the whistle has gone. And what he's going to look to do is probably give it to the boy at the post and get it back directly to him, step back and take a shot. Well, that's the plan anyway. He's generally pretty good at it.
We're just pausing the game here because we're looking something. The jury are pointing out something that's happening.
And the referee's gone and had a quick chat with our jury.
Everything seems fine.
I think this is probably the biggest collection of volunteers that I've ever seen at a domestic game.
They've worked so hard.
Yeah, ball coming back from Joshua. Charlie, come back low, and the follow through from Kieran Hicks is a little bit nasty.
Another free pass.
Yeah, and
if he does it again, it could well go to a penalty.
I've got a feeling Kieran Hicks is trying to wind these guys up a little bit.
I wonder what Charlie will do now. Now he knows that Kieran's coming out and putting that kind of pressure on him. Does he take the shot in the thinking that Kieran won't come out that far next time? Or will Kieran come flying? Will Charlie hold the ball?
Yeah.
And look to go back on the inside? This will be really interesting to see the mind games that are going on here now.
So they just changed the ball, probably because it's wet or maybe under. Okay, this has got to be a better pass back from Josh. That's better, that's better, that's better. Okay. And there's 15 seconds to go. Gives Beck one last chance. So it's been a good half, like tactical. Defense has dominated.
Tactical.
We've seen one team start well, and we've seen the other slowly eke their way back into it as we end the first half. So, Jess, what do you like about the game so far?
Yeah, like you say, the ebb and flow has been really interesting. Beck looked so dominant to start with, and actually the goals have dried up, but that just shows that how important defence is, and they're stopping both teams from scoring.
Okay, and now we're going to go to our pitch side reporter Adam, who looks like he's found himself in the middle of a big Beck club.
Hey Tom, I'm in the middle of the Beck fans here. I'm here with Anne-Marie.
Hi.
How did you find that half?
Brilliant. Such fun. I think my babe came out, got one straight in.
Your daughter's playing in the game?
Oh yes, both of them, but two different sides.
And do you think Beck can go on and win this game?
Hopefully, fingers crossed, going for it. Yeah.
Awesome. And Joe, another Beck fan. Joe, how have you enjoyed the game here at the Copper Box today?
It's been a tight first half. I'll give it that. Not as high scoring as I think people were expecting, but I feel like Beck can go on the second half, get a few goals in. Pike's been a little bit unforgiving, so I think we just need to get our shots to start to drop, and we're going to walk away with it.
Absolutely awesome. Right, Tom, back to you in the commentary box.
Adam, it looks pretty exciting down in the crowd. Looks like everyone's having a good time. They probably won't be so happy in the Beck fan club about the second part of that half. I mean, Steph, let's have it come with that. Beck started okay. Knights maybe not so well. Beck couldn't keep it going. Knights coming back. What's going on?
Well, both teams actually are taking quite far out shots. Now, that means they've got to take an awful lot more many shots to take the percentages to the goals that we saw in the previous semi-finals. So both teams really, 7-6, they need to just edge in and drive in a little bit more to attack the inside, and then they'll get their more closer range shots, which they'll finish every day. But these ones are a little far out, and at the moment they're not hitting quite as well as probably they would like.
And we saw a lot of penalties in the first semi-final. These guys aren't driving in enough. They're not getting the referee to make a decision on this.
We're not seeing that 2-2 play that we saw in the first semi-final. That clear collect position, feed position, two players out the front. This is very dynamic. A lot of the times we're seeing them shooting without a collect and trying to play what we call dynamic korfball.
And it sometimes seemed that towards the end, like they were taking the shot that they were given. And in korfball, you don't do that. I take my shot. You can't force me to shot. I'm gonna move dynamically, get the ball coming, and I'm gonna shoot it. So what happened? So Steph, you played with Knights and said you've got promoted with them. What happened to them there? Really,
they're just lacking a little bit of inside support play, really. I mean, they've got the shots on the outside, as you said, but for them to really attack off of that, they're going to need to have someone driving in on the inside. It creates the space on the outside, but it allows more options. And as you said, they've just really got just the one option at the moment, which if it misses, they're losing the ball. And that's why the score is kept quite low. They just need an extra pass and an extra option on the inside, and that will get them the choice for them to choose which shot they're going to take, whether it's inside or on the outside.
But then what about Beck? We've seen their goals have pretty much dried up for the last 10 minutes. So what is it that they need to do?
Well, Beck have actually a very similar problem. They are also taking the shots on the outside. You saw Joe Bedford, Blake Palfman, he scored a great one from the sideline, but that won't happen all game long. If you're going to win the games on high-scoring goals, you're going to have to take the extra pass. And for them, actually, they've got really strong rebound and collect with both the girls and the boys, and they're not playing the percentages that they should be. And for them, they need to make sure they've got more possession so that those shots that are coming out from a little further out are going to start going in rather than losing the ball.
And I think, just to back up your point before we go to social media, is that Blake Palfman for Beck intercepting so many because he's not threatened enough. He's going looking for the ball and he's breaking them down. I think they have to target Paul Debenham, who's against Blake, get a couple of goals out of him, who's going to back Blake off straight away.
Completely.
Jess, talk us through what's happening on social media.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting in touch. That's brilliant. Hopefully we can bring you some of that after the end of the match. But yeah, let us know. What is it that you're seeing? What is it that you want to see more of? Who do you want us to speak to? Get in touch. You can find us on Twitter @EnglandKorfball. Use the hashtag KorfballFinals. Don't forget, it's really important. And
Jess and I are trying to explain to you as best as possible about the rules that we are seeing on the pitch. So we're going to do our best, but please feel free to tweet and ask some questions, and we'll try and explain it as best as we possibly can.
And let's not forget, England Korfball have been tweeting all week about Korfball rules. I think they've been using the hashtag Korfball rules. So again, look that up, find out the rules for yourself. But yeah, we'll try and help as best as we can. Okay, so looking forward to the second half. Good for them to have a little breather and have a reset, and both teams need a reset. Let's start with Knights first. They've got a bit of momentum. What they need to do?
Well, for them, actually, they've got everything to play for here. They're only one goal in, and really, they've not had the possession. So the end that is actually playing against Blake Palfman's end, so that's Paul Debenham and Luke, they need to snatch a few goals, and they need to just be a little bit more clinical with the finish, and they will actually take that division, because the other end has got the possession with Josh Rowe, 2 metres tall. He's taken the ball every time. So for Knights, it's that other section that just needs to clock a few goals, and that will keep them in the game.
And for Beck, I mean, Rachel Turner started lively, and she's still doing okay, but there's no threat coming from her again. Is that because Knights have tightened up their defence, or so what should Beck do in the second half?
See, I'm not sure that it is that they've tightened up their defence. I just don't think that, honestly, I don't feel that Beck are looking for that option anymore. They're not exploiting that enough. Joanne Wilson and Rachel Turner, they've driven at their players and they're doing so well.
Yeah.
And they're drawing a lot of fouls from it. So why wouldn't you keep doing that, in my opinion?
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a fascinating second half, and it's all on the line now for the final tomorrow, and the winner is going to go through to that final against Trojans. Who you liking at the moment?
I probably
Steph?
would fancy Beck. They've got the possession, and I think if they do have a plan B, they play through their girls, as Jess was saying. I think they've got the upper edge out of the two.
Yeah, and I don't think either team has shown enough to me to be a clear favourite. So it's kind of all up for grabs. Which players are you liking that you're seeing? Who's having a good game at the moment, Jess?
I think Josh is dominating that collect area. I think he's only scored 1, maybe 2 from the outside. I would like to see him really showing that goal scoring that he has been showing throughout the league. Claire Deek's been awfully quiet for me. You know, she's one of my favourite.
I'm going to say she's a big favourite of yours.
I haven't really seen anything from her in this first half. I don't know if the boys maybe aren't utilising her enough for my liking.
Yeah. Who's going to come up big in the second half, Steph?
Oh, tough call. But I'm going to put my money on Beck. I think they've got it, and I think they've got the breadth of talent across their squad. No real weakness for them to really lose the game through. So it's whether they can hold their nerve against a Knights team that always overperforms on a big occasion. So that's well worth knowing.
Yeah, and so for me, Blake Palfram has been the best guy on the pitch, probably the best player on the pitch because of his defensive prowess and what he's been doing there. He's scored a couple of goals. I think that they'll just have a look around and realise, I think both teams have to look where their goals are coming from and not being clinical enough to point in the right direction and say, all right, let's stop looking elsewhere. Let's have a look at Rachel Turner because she's looking quick. She can get round. Let's have a look at Joanne Wilson, and let's have a look at Blake Palfram a little bit more, and maybe Davish Patel do a bit more of the hard work inside the post.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you, ladies. And we're just going to have a quick word with Adam, our pitch side reporter. I don't even know where he is. Are you there, Adam?
I don't know if we can hear
I
Adam.
don't know. Well, we can keep talking. I can hear you and I can see him down there. We'll keep talking. And so get involved in social media again.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget to let us know your thoughts, because it'd be really interesting. You know, we know these players inside out. If you don't know these players, maybe you're seeing something different, or maybe you want to find out a little bit more about some of the rules that we're not covering. So do use the hashtag Korfball Finals and get in touch. Send us a tweet.
And remember that Korfball's a sport that's played by people from 7 years old up to 70, maybe, but certainly up to 60. And because of the mixed nature of it, it just changes the atmosphere a little bit that you might find anywhere else. And it's one of the best university sports, Steph.
Yeah, I mean, the university area is a massive growth area for the sport, but you know, the people that are playing here today, they've come from families, they've come from club level, university level, so the entry points for Korfball are really varied, and I think that is what really helps with the sport's growth overall.
Okay, so I think we're going to go back to the court, and it's going to give us a chance to get into our commentary position. So thanks very much, Steph, for your contribution, and we'll see you at the end of the game.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm here with Becky. Becky, you looking forward to the second half?
Yeah, this match has been a really, really good match. Not as high scoring as the last ones, but still full of drama. It's been really, really good.
And are you a Norwich fan or a Beck fan today?
I'm rooting for Beck today.
Where have you come down from?
From Didcot.
Awesome, yeah, really good. And who do you think is going to win the game?
I'm hoping for Beck, but it is quite close, so it could go either way at this point.
Absolutely. Right, Tom, back to you in commentary.
Thank you, Adam. We're back for the second half, and even though it has been slow scoring in the first half, hopefully there's been a lot of things on display that you can see, and hopefully you're learning a little bit more about the game if you didn't know Korfball before. I'm going to promise you an entertaining half here. Charlie Vogel starting off the ball against Kieran Hicks. I think number 31, Kieran Hicks, he's trying to wind Charlie up, and he's trying to wind Josh Rowe up, which is a tactic that sometimes they do, because Josh can be a little bit feisty. And just maybe take him off his game. Neither team completely on the game at the moment. There's Charlie Vogel. Nice.
Yes, that's what we need.
All right, that's how you beat a team like Beck.
Yeah.
Is you get momentum and you start scoring, dropping your shots. That will worry Beck. They've been in the lead for virtually the whole game. Okay, Kieran Hicks answers. Yeah, good. The only answer you can give is another goal. But Beck were in the lead for the whole half, and then suddenly they found themselves level, but they've answered. Shows the experience they've got.
Rachel Turner working really hard to try and stop Heather Stokes from getting into that feed position.
Oh, nice. Paul Debenham almost got Blake Palfrey in the air.
That's the one.
Luke Coit-McKenzie drops one down against Davish Patel, who hasn't gone out far enough.
Whatever the coach has said at half-time, it's clearly fired them up, both teams, and it's working.
Palfreyman, easy shot. Anywhere on the court, he can put that. Nah, that's good control. See, I think yes. That's what I was saying at the halftime in the studio. They need to look for where their goals are coming from.
Yeah.
They need to give Blake more attention. They need to give him that second shot. And look at that. That's
but
a beautiful
how did he get that shot? By driving towards the post and then breaking away, which is what we said at halftime.
Absolutely.
And look, you can actually see them employing the tactics that we said. You know, they weren't playing very structured. They weren't playing a lot of 2-2. And actually...
and that's sloppy from Charlie.
Yeah.
So I like the tactic where they got the girls on the inside. So that allows both boys a bit more freedom to attack without the other boy coming to double team or call switch, as you'll hear us call it. Blake accidentally bounces it off Paul Debenham's head. Is that an assist from Paul Debenham? Has it come back?
It's a little bit harsh.
Did he really hit it off his head? Oh, I don't know. We didn't quite see in that. It kind of looked that way. It might have been his arm.
I hope it was the shoulder, but I don't know.
Well, anyway, it's great that the half has started so well.
If you saw it then, Blake was just keeping post side of Paul. He's not actually... Oh, he is now, but...
that's a penalty. Okay, well, sorry to disagree with Paul, but I felt he was on the inside, and that foul resulted... He would have shot that. But Paul Jean's very experienced referee, better referee than me. He didn't think so, and he had a better view, so I'll out of respect for him, go with that. But that was very clever positioning from Paul Debenham.
Kieran Hicks will shoot from the corner. The boys playing on the inside at the moment.
Caitlin Fitzgerald. I tell you what, this game has come alive,
yeah,
Jess.
It has. Goals coming from all players now.
So maybe it was nerves, and that just took them out of their main game plan, and they just needed that half-time. Oh, that's another great shot.
Or maybe both teams were coming in with a specific game plan that they're not used to, and it just wasn't working.
It just didn't work.
So that both coaches may have just said, revert back to what you know. Just play Korfball, just play what you're seeing.
Which is, look at this control from Knights. This is what we expect from them. Though sometimes they move it a little bit more fluently than this. And there's Claire Deek. She's not going to shoot off that. Good work between the boys. Good shot. Oh, Joanne Wilson, very athletic as she collects that and breaks that down. So, but not only have Norwich sparked up, but so have Beck.
Yeah.
Jo Wilson in a great post position, pulls it down very easily, but no shot clock reset.
There's no way she could have scored that from that
God,
angle.
no way!
But when you get the second shot...
And Caitlin Fitzgerald, 2 goals in a row. Big smile on her face. Oh, look at that. That's it's difficult from there because if you look
she was
at
still on the move for the first one. The second one, she had time to set herself.
That's a great shot there to show the actual height of the post and how big it is against those players. And these are all decent-sized players. Oh, nice shot. Okay, well, it's nice movement. Shot didn't go where it should do. And that's against Kieran Hicks. There's just a little bit too much pressure on Charlie in the Charlie Vogel, who's on the line for Norwich Knights. Oh, just gets him in the air. Beautiful. Josh dropped that down. Oh, no, that's great. Classic Korfball. One boy overcommits, and then they're able to try and exploit and find the other boy. And that can happen with girls, but generally boys will attack as pairs, girls will attack as pairs on the outside. Wilson picks it up off her laces.
Yeah. It's a great pass
and
from Blake
Palfreyman gives a good ball to Patel, and I'm like, okay, it wasn't Beck's best attack, but I'm really liking their intent a lot more than we saw in the last 10 minutes of that first half.
They're looking like they've got a game plan now. Both teams look really driven. We're just pausing the game while I think it's Kenzie Baldock just does her shoot up.
Looks
We're
like
seeing a sub.
Stand done. Coming up for Josh, interesting.
I imagine Josh Rowe might come back into this game.
I imagine Josh Rowe might just go on the side and go down the other end. So it can be a little bit difficult for when you're just new to the sport that there are 2 games going on effectively, and so actually Josh is putting his shirt on. So okay.
I don't know that we won't see him again.
Oh well, I suspect we're going to see him again, but. Stan, first shot, not great. Well fought though.
That's a nice ball over to Charlie Vogel from Johan Cook. Sandon takes his first shot of the game and just bobbles off the top.
Second shot.
Second shot of the game.
But in the meantime, okay, the game's livened up, and we've beautiful, good pass from Dav to Rachel Turner. Misses the shot though. Yeah, we're enjoying Knights a little bit more, but suddenly they fall behind because Beck have sparked up as well. I think maybe this game just needed one of the teams to get going and the other would follow. But yeah, I'm glad to see Knights bringing out quicker now, because that's going to bring. Well, first of all, the time. The time's going to start working against them while you're behind. Oh, Charlie Vogel's free, one-handed shot, good elevation, good shot, and Kieran Hicks somehow hurt himself as he collected that. Good ball over the top. That's nice movement, decent from Patel. No shot clock reset though, so we're down to 10 seconds. It's a lot of time to Korfball, but you get down to 5, you might panic. You can get down to 3 when Palfman's got the ball, because it doesn't matter, because he can get a shot out of anything, and it's got to be a great shot. Oh, look at that great extension. So it's an 8-metre shot, 9-metre shot.
Joe Sterling just calling a timeout for Norwich.
And I think he needs to do, because he obviously had a great impact with what he said at halftime, but Beck have actually just they've upped their game a little bit. Yeah. What would you say? What Joe should be saying down there? I mean, okay, he's going to give them some heart because they're still in the game. Tactically, what can they do?
Well, Stan's only just come into the game, and he hasn't had a chance to actually impose himself on the game yet. So I think now, given I believe he'll be going into attack, they'll actually be able to set up what it is that he's been brought on to do. But again, I still don't think they need to worry. They are a strong scoring team, and when they get going, it can be really hard to stop them. So I still don't think it's very early days in the second half.
And Becker's favourites will feel some pressure if they haven't killed this game by in the next 5 or 10 minutes. They'll start to think, if Knights get back to within 2, Beck are going to be thinking, like, is this our season? Is it all going to end here against this team? At the moment, I see and they see Charlie drop a couple down, it's going to start to rattle them a little bit. Yeah. And that, as we know, as we've seen it happen to other players, affects your shot a little bit. When you see that other team charging back. Hicks, decent range. Okay, sloppy from Caitlin, but maybe there wasn't enough movement from Joe Bedford on the outside and didn't create enough passing lane.
And the Norwich fans in the crowd just try to G their team on, make sure that they know that there is support there.
And they're definitely, and that's okay. He's taking some risk with that pass over the top. Don't mind, but it's not the time for missing the pass anyway. Let's put it that way. Okay, I hope Beck don't lose their attacking intent. Okay, Caitlin Michelle, she really looks up for it. Oh, Bedford, come round, you've got to finish that.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter. He loves driving in there,
he
so
loves
I'm really surprised that hasn't even hit the post. It's very unlike him. Not sure where Kieran's trying to go there, but...
Yeah, still plenty of time in the shot clock. Yeah, okay,
Caitlin's
really on it now. Yeah. So, number 8, Caitlin with the blonde flowing hair, she moves around on the outside. Yeah, it looks like Joe, that's poor. So it looked like Beck realised they're going to have to show more attacking intent than they did in the first half, and that's okay. It is working for them. And there we go, Blake Palfman pulling down another shot again. And you can see Debenham looking frustrated by it, I'd say. It really hurts a team to see that many defensive interceptions. Bedford, poor. Great read and the pass over to a fellow girl. Yeah,
Claire will shoot from range.
they're playing a little bit quicker, which is good. Sometimes when it's good to play slowly and work out your best chance, but it does allow defenders to settle just a little bit too much. Korfball's a game best played where the ball does the talking, where it's singing, moving around the court, changing the position of the attack by where the position of the ball is.
Yeah.
Nice ball from Court McKenzie, gets it
that
back.
pass back from Paul Debenham was
And tell you what, and unselfishly passed it up because some might have shot that, but I thought he was a little bit too much under the Korf and gets his reward as a shot. But Palferman dominating Debenham at the moment in that end. Certainly with Palferman in defence.
Fitzgerald shoot from distance. So again, both teams got slightly cagier again. We seem to have lost the flow of goals that we had a moment ago. Lovely ball off the back to Paul Debenham.
Yeah, didn't bounce kindly for him though, but good intent.
Joe Bedford will chase that ball down.
Good position from Caitlin Fitzgerald. God, Joe somehow squeezes one up.
Only 7 seconds left on the shot clock at that point as well, so they had to shoot that one, but a great goal.
Okay, and after a little revival from Knights, Beck looking like they're going to try and knock that down, and wasn't great body language after that.
Lovely pressure from Rachel Turner on that pass.
Kieran Hicks. Oh, decent shot. Good pick up from Bedford. And that's just trying to force it through. And how did he find his way through there? I thought as he put the ball into the post, it just come back off.
Okay. But
Okay.
even to pick the ball up from the floor and then to put it in the basket, that's really impressive skill.
Yeah. Charlie, love it, love it, love it, love it. Finish it. Yes. Great ball. He got back.
I don't know that Adele knew that ball was going to come back to her for the second pass.
I'm not sure how much Adele knew either. Beck, slow running this block. Nice header, Palferman. Oh, what else do you need to do when you've got a guy that can shoot like that? Yeah, they're definitely looking at him a little bit more. And now we've got a substitution, and Josh Rowe is coming back and on for Luke McKenzie. So that effectively means he's changed ends.
Yeah. Which I think is a good decision. The Charlie's division with Stan Dunn seems to be working quite well now. So I think Josh did need to come on. Because like I say, he has been scoring goals this season, and I think he is a good option with Paul Debenham.
Oh, beautiful
Lovely
turn.
finish. Those are the goals that I was on about earlier. You know, the players like Heather Stokes, who does a lot of support work for the team.
Yeah.
If she can bag her, 2 or 3 a game, then that's going to be crucial for this team.
Yeah, but they need to get some of their bigger players coming up just a little bit bigger. I think probably Paul Debenham was the one that's really suffered under the pressure of Blake Palferman. Just great commitment from Stan Dunn. Very awkward roll after it though, but it looks like he's going to be okay. So Claire Dick's up. Maybe is it Joanne Wilson just doing such a good job defending Claire Dick? Or Norwich Knights not just looking at her enough. So Claire Dick, number 14, is just we're just saying we wanted to see if she's just a little bit off screen from you now, but she is in this end. But the penalty has brought Josh Rowe to the line. And if you think Josh Rowe is 2 metres, it gives you an impression of how high that Korfball court is and how difficult it is to score into. And suddenly they come back. 4 goals, that's all it is. And Joanne Wilson round, smooth, but she's got to finish. And great drive from Rachel Turner.
That's what I'm really enjoying watching, is
Yeah.
Rachel Turner driving at the post is great.
She looks a little bit disappointed with herself that she missed that, though. The team are gathering round. I think they know they're playing okay.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
And, I really liked her position. Was it Adele Mitchell? The way she started out and she just boxed her player out. Stonewall penalty.
She felt where Caitlin was and just knew that she could move back into that space and earn the penalty.
Yeah. Okay. 5 goals up for Charlie Vogel.
Lovely sweeping run there from Joanne Wilson. I'm enjoying watching that.
Yeah. She looks different from last year. She really looks looking like
there's a hunger there. There's a real drive.
She's got a bit more speed, a bit more aggression. I think that I've always admired number 1, Beck, Joanne Wilson, is just in defence now, but I think she's lacked a little bit of aggression in her youth, and now she's really looking like she's really up for it.
Kieran Hicks doing a great job of putting pressure on Charlie Vogel. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, and Joe can't stay with Stan Dunn, but Stan Dunn can't score. But Charlie Vogel can get the collect. And you can see Kieran Hicks is a little bit disappointed himself. And look, he just misread that.
I think that was a bit of curse of the commentator there.
That's a great modern korfball game, the way he steps out and scores that. Okay, game coming alive, only 2 in it. And he's called out a penalty, which is a little bit unusual. So what he's called that for is that a boy can't
hinder the girl's
can't
pass.
hinder a girl, but he normally needs to be closer to her than that in order for it to count. But Charlie didn't complain too much, and he does tend to complain when necessary. So maybe that was closer than it first appeared to me.
Lovely drive into the post from Ball.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I know, goal defended.
Decision.
He didn't like that. So tonight's getting a bit niggly with the ref, but they've got themselves back into this game. That they've started playing, so now they have to keep focused on what they're doing, what's got them here, which is good play, good shooting. Strong from Bedford at the post. Off a decent shot from Hicks. Hicks beats his player really late, gets the ball back from Baldock. Pass the ball deep into Josh Rowe. Nice, great start. Good combination. Ball coming back.
Just trying to force it too much for my liking. I mean, they're seeing the moves, and they are the moves that Knights typically use. But unfortunately, Beck are reading them so well, and they're just trying to force it through, and it's not happening for them.
Yeah, that's a good fight. That might spur them on. Adele Mitchell winning out there. Okay, now Claire Duke.
Yes, Claire.
Knock it down, Claire.
Good
yes. That's the aggression we wanted to see from her.
I don't know why they haven't been targeting her a bit more throughout the game. I mean, that's what she does. That's what she's always done. So, I've been missing that a bit this match.
Yeah, and, well, I think sometimes you have to step up and demand it, and that's what she looked like she did there. She said, look, I'm going to get round. Give me this ball back. Oh, Palfman. I'll tell you what, you can do all the running around you want down this end and score crazy goals, but pop it out to Palfman, find him in space. He's going to score a beautiful goal like that and drop it down all night. Okay, Vogel. He does take it on himself, and he should take it on himself because he is their go-to guy.
From a mentality point of view, it's interesting to see that Charlie's not celebrating in the way that he typically does. He's not really being the showman. Actually, he's gritting his teeth and he's digging deep and he's just celebrating the goal briefly, but then getting straight down the other end.
He knows he's got work to do.
Yeah.
They're 2 behind. They're in the semi-final of the league.
He is on 7 goals, though, for the match, so he's not doing bad.
They're playing for a place in the final tomorrow in the Copper Box Arena, live on the BBC. I'd imagine he is gritting his teeth a little bit at the moment. I would hope he'll Bedford find his way around. Oh, that little scoop shot he does so well.
Yeah.
Just caught Charlie asleep there at the moment, and Charlie ducked a bullet there.
I mean, Beck looked really, really dominant, but there's still only 2 goals up. I mean,
absolutely.
and there's still over 10 minutes to go. So,
and like I say, the pressure's on Beck from here. That's what I see.
Great hustle from Paul Devlin there.
You know, if I was like a Knights coach or fan, I'd be thinking, oh, look at that. Now she's up for it. Score it.
Yes. It's like maybe they heard our commentary at half-time.
Maybe they heard us in the studio, but yes, look at that. That's why Claire Dick is on the pitch. And that's why you were so surprised at one of your favourites not getting a look in the first half.
Because that's what she can do, and that's what she always does.
Yeah. Okay, pressure on Beck. Really, okay, they're still in the lead, but they've allowed Nice to come back into it twice. They allowed them back in the first half, they've allowed them back in the second half.
Which, in comparison to the match that we saw earlier, Trojans didn't do. They shut the door and they just pulled away.
Just absolutely shut the door on them.
She's driving again.
And look,
same move.
Knock it down, Claire. She follows it. Josh, I
just wondered if there was a bit of contact on that shot, which it just looked awkward or short. It just didn't look typical of her, but
she's
the referee said no.
She's got the bit between her teeth.
Which is what this match needs.
Absolutely. I said there wasn't enough attacking intent for me, and then now you can see these guys, they realise what they're playing for. Okay, shot from Bedford, but he got lucky there with that bounce, and that's a good ball over the top.
And maybe she managed to keep hold of that. It was right in her fingertips. But Charlie picking it off. Okay, mate, is the momentum beginning to swing?
Like I say, pressure on Beck.
Claire Dick driving in.
So, if I'm Beck coach, I'm calling a timeout. So you're going to have to stop her doing that.
Double teamer.
Because if she scores another goal, everybody on the Beck pitch and the Beck bench can see that they're being pulled apart down there by Claire Dick.
Yeah.
They've got to do something about that. And I'd start with a timeout, and I'd probably get Joanne Wilson off and get someone else on just to change the rhythm. Or maybe
switch.
They're doing it. They're switching girls. Okay, good.
You can't see that down the. Beautiful goal from Jo Bedford. But John Denton, coach of Beck, has just had a word with the girls and just said, Rachel, mark Claire for a bit, just to see how that changes things.
So rules of Korfball, you have a personal opponent, but that personal opponent is one boy or one girl. It doesn't matter. So there's two boys and two girls against each other. So you don't have to nominate saying, I'm defending this boy or I'm defending this girl. So you can switch. And when one player starts to get run around like that, then you're going to have to start doing something about it.
So Norwich Knights have just made another substitution. They have brought Paul Debenham off and brought Luke Mackenzie back on.
Yeah.
Who's now marking up against Blake Palfreyman, which is no enviable job.
Not at all. Blake at the post. Devish Patel hasn't really factored so much. Palfreyman.
He pushed that shot up.
No way, Palfreyman. Was that like a volleyball tip?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
A spike.
And look at the extension on their hands as it goes away. Not many players in the world can do that shot. This is really special what we're seeing from Palfreyman. Oh no. Kenzie Baldock almost got punished for overcommitting.
Adele Mitchell just not managing to catch that ball. That's going to be slightly long from Charlie Bogle.
Okay. And now I know that Jo Bedford's worried because as soon as he caught it, he gave the slow down.
Can everyone just calm down?
I think Beck are under pressure here, and they're still playing well. Palfreyman's holding him in this game.
Yeah.
And without those goals from Palfreyman at the moment, Beck aren't playing great.
Rachel Turner doing the clever thing there.
Okay,
I'm free. They're dropping off me. They're scared of her driving in. Just give me the ball and I will score.
Okay. That will give them a bit of confidence. A goal that wasn't Palfreyman. Oh, beautiful.
She's having a great game.
Yeah, she is.
We'll see another sub.
But like I said, I thought she did really well in the first 10 minutes. I didn't use her again, but now she seems she's coming back into the game.
So Kenzie Baldock will now make way for Chloe Swain.
Chloe Swain. Probably maybe the smallest girl in the finals.
Yes, I believe that's fair to say.
Part of a fantastic Korfball family, the Swains.
Oh yeah.
Not only playing wise with Chloe's sister Amy, but Lisa and Mark. They work with their juniors, and when I worked with them at Beck, I got so much respect for them. So I'm really glad to see Chloe featuring on here.
And again, here we'll be able to see reversible subs in use. Paul Debenham will be making his way back to the pitch to go into attack, and it looks as though maybe on the next whistle Kenzie Baldock might rejoin the pitch. I would imagine for Joanne Wilson, like you said, maybe just to put that extra pressure on Claire.
Okay, so what for our viewers there, what was happening there was Beck were pretty much double teaming the free pass taker because Claire Diggers got hot. She read it, passed off to her teammate, and unfortunately the shot didn't go. But I think it was smart from Beck. They need to calm Claire Dig down because she's getting hot.
Yeah. She's a massive threat in this game. Nice ball from Chloe Swain. Jacob, that's such an off-balance shot, but...
Great collection run from Higgs. Standen lucky to get away with that.
Again, not the most balanced shot from Bedford.
Yeah, good rhythm, good tempo, but Bedford slows it down. Takes up a nice block. Hicks, decent extension, but shot is short.
Still over 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah. He just, yeah, okay. He's trying to do some sort of flick out of the back of his hand.
He'd already committed to driving in, but there was nothing there, so had to flick it out. See that they've put. Oh,
that looked a bit nasty.
he grimaced as soon as he hit the floor. So
I don't think there was any malicious intent there from
no,
Palferman.
no.
Well, Palferman is probably the nicest kid on the pitch, isn't he, really? Let's just have a quick
I don't think we're
look.
going to...
No, we are going to see it, I think. Oh, no, we've seen some of the goals. Let's have a quick look through here while we're getting some treatment.
We are going to see it.
Oh, it is.
Oh, he did
no.
just...
did he catch
a little
Joanne?
wobble.
Yeah, but
I think as he hit into Joanne Wilson, he just had a wobble.
Yeah.
I think he'll be all right.
That's a bit nasty. Yeah, but generally when you see a player down with a coach on him, he's coming off.
Oh.
His weekend might be over. Most of these players, some of these players will be wearing ankle supports for preventative measures. He looks like he probably got something on there. Okay, he's probably not coming back in this game, and
no, not if he's been taken off this stage. He's going to have to
rely on his teammates to try and get him into the final, and maybe they can do something with him overnight and do some taping.
Oh, that's a real shame to see. Oh, he looks in a lot of pain as
well. He does look in a lot of pain.
That's really not nice.
Okay, and
so we will introduce Luke Coit-McKenzie back into the game.
So no big loss. Yeah, similar sorts of players. I think Paul wasn't having a great game. I think Palferman had dominated him a little bit.
What I didn't understand was why Claire is now at the post with the ball.
Yeah, give it and go out, Claire.
Yeah.
Demand it.
I mean, I know she's now marking up against Rachel Turner, so maybe that's a different tactic. Maybe they said, right, well, we won't try it against Rachel, but I don't know if they've given it enough of a try yet.
I think you've got to go with your hot player, and Claire Dick's the one. Okay, give her a feed, guys.
So now they've engineered the switch.
There we go. Run at her, Claire.
And again.
And Rachel Turner
looks like Claire really favours.
Okay. I think that's. Oh, actually, it was Joanne Wilson on him in the end. But
I'm wondering if Claire's favouring one side when she's attacking. If she's only ever going down the same side, Joanne Wilson has finally, read it, and that's a beautiful layup from Chloe Swain.
Going past the post, down the side, the left-handed little scoop shot around. That is a quality goal, Chloe Swain. Claire Deek again, look at that decent shot. She single-handedly wants to drag this team into the final. Well picked up, Joanne Wilson. Okay, 5 minutes to go. Just over 5 minutes to go. Five goals in the difference. So that's game on.
Still doable, yeah.
Absolutely game on. Oh, great. Fantastic, Caitlin, who's had a great second half as well.
And clever from Adele to leave her and make sure she didn't foul her.
Yeah. Well, we've hardly seen any penalties in this compared to the penalty fest we had in the first semi-final. Okay, Beck will do well to just take a little bit of heat out of this game, but Caitlin's still hungry for it, wants to shoot. Now they're going to have to shoot a little bit earlier than that. Okay, they should calm this down, take another 25 seconds out of the game, and that's good experience from Caitlin passing that out. Although Joe shot a little bit early there for my, was a boring let's win tactic style.
Yeah.
So what are the options they've got here? So they've got Josh Rowe underneath the post against Patel. Not an easy collect against Patel.
It's a good pass. She's not even looking for that shot under the post.
Yeah, I tell you, it was always going to be a difficult shot. Jess, you've got that shot. So he obviously hasn't gotten that shot. And
Josh.
And that's poor.
Completely misread that one.
I think Josh had a decent game, but that wasn't great. Oh, good. I thought he was in line. All right. We got another substitution. Is this Frances Goodall? Probably
Anna Goodall, yeah.
Anna Goodall.
Coming on for Heather Stokes.
Who probably is now is the smallest player on the pitch, even smaller than Chloe. just shows that Korfball can be played by people of different sizes, and these players wouldn't be in the team unless they were really good.
Oh yeah, completely.
Generally, you see shorter players tend to be quicker, more agile, move just a little bit better than big players do, but they will get exposed around the post. And Palferman, for me, my man of the match, not only has he just scored magnificently, but that interception that he's done there.
Yeah, but he's done it time and time and time.
A heartbreaking performance, like a Norwich Knights heartbreaking performance that he's done.
Oh, Chloe
nice.
Swain again.
She's looking keen for it, and that's a decent shot from Joe.
Only 7 left on the shot clock, so they need to engineer something here.
There you go. Okay, they do get that, and Joe will hit. Hicks.
Oh.
That would have killed the game, stone dead right there. As it is, there's a sliver of chance. They pretty much need to score in. Maybe they can afford one miss, but the rest of that, they need to score in every attack.
Good pressure from Patel.
Yeah, and so the Beck girls in particular are going in front.
Yeah.
And they're stopping that ball into the post. And that's why we're seeing so many over-the-top balls that really haven't worked that well. I think Beck have won this defensively.
Oh,
Jess.
yeah. They're just reading what Norwich try and do at every opportunity. Yeah. Even once they've switched up the style of play. Oh, Chloe Swain.
No, the one-hander won't go this time.
Just can't stop her.
Yeah.
Very nippy. Can't say I've ever actually played against Chloe Swain, but she's looking.
She's young, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
She's 16, she's 17?
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay, not saying you wouldn't have played against her, but she hasn't been in the league that long.
No.
Nice. Finish it, Caitlin.
Nice.
Beautiful. And that's the icing on that. I think what's been a really good game for her. Drives round. Look at that. And the one-handed finish. That's a quality finish there from Caitlin.
We're going to have one final timeout.
Yeah, and why wouldn't we? It gives us a chance to catch our breath in a little bit. And,
look at Beck there. Look at them. Nodding, going, look at Joanne.
Lovely smile and Joanne Wilson.
She's thinking, job well done.
Blake Palferman doesn't smile much, but he doesn't grimace much either.
No.
He's just a really mild-mannered, really nice, mild-mannered guy. So, have you enjoyed this today? So, I'm thinking Beck are going to win this one because time is short and they are going to get there. They're going to go through and face Trojans in the final tomorrow. We're live on air on the BBC at 3 o'clock UK time for a 3:30 start. What have you enjoyed about this game? It's been a great second half, hasn't it? I mean, the first half wasn't so good. This has been great.
It's been a real tactical masterclass, really. It did strike me that both teams were trying to do something quite clever in the first half, and it didn't really come off for either team. So I do think the coaches have said to them, look, go out there and actually let's play a bit more structured. Let's target key players, and it has worked for both teams.
Yeah. Or defensively, that maybe both of them have outthought their opponents, like in defence, and fair play to both coaches that eventually they've got it right. They've got into an attacking formation, and they've made it work for them and given us a really good spectacle here in the second half. Now the boys are out. I don't know what Charlie's doing. Is he going to? Okay, he's going to break free and score. He's going to flip down. No, he's not. Oh. Is that Heather Stokes?
Yeah.
Just got a little knock in the face.
A clatter in the face.
Okay, but it's been a good battle between both teams. No shame in what Knights have done today. I think they just got out defended. I think Paul Debenham, as much as I love him, I think he couldn't cope with Palferman, but no one could cope with Palferman.
Not many people can.
When he's on his right day, that's made a big difference. Charlie Vogel, number 8, there we see, I thought at one stage he was going to single-handedly drag them through.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like they didn't use Claire Dick enough early enough.
Maybe.
That might be the story of it.
And again, before the match we were saying Josh and Charlie, throughout the season, have been good for 7 goals a game. And I'm not convinced that we've seen that performance from either of them. Yes, Charlie has scored a lot of goals in this game, but not the important goals, not the crucial goals when they mattered.
So Beck will just try and top this off, and Palferman showing he can go. You can try and stop him on the outside. That's just going to give him more room on the inside.
Really well read from Joanne Wilson to offer a feed from the collect position.
Yeah, really. That stepping out there, that's great modern Korfball. But Palferman, I can't say enough good things. Oh, Charlie Vogel goes round. Unfortunately, he does get a little nudge in the back.
Oh, Billy Ashby has joined the field.
as the seconds tick down. Charlie gets another goal. I think it's probably his 9th.
Yeah, 9 or 10.
But it's only a consolation for them at the moment, as it does tick down. So we've got a third or fourth playoff, which both teams are probably going to enjoy a little bit. It's a good experience to be out here on the big pitch. But really, it's the final that they all kind of came to being, and Knights have fallen short. But credit to Beck, I think they showed their class here.
Yeah, looking strong. Be interesting to see what they try and do again. Oh, it's nice of Joe holding the ball there when Stan Dunn was on the floor. Can they do it against Trojans? I mean, it's the same as last year, same final. Can they do it? Can they really go one step further this time? They've put in the hard work. I was talking with their coach John Denton earlier today, and they really have put in a lot of hard work to get ready for this.
Yeah.
And they've had they're coming off the back of a really strong Europa Shield tournament as well. Where they won. So
yeah, but like these late goals that they're scoring, a really good goal there scored from Joe Bedford from the back. That's got to be giving him confidence. Joanne Wilson, look at the smile. Actually, she can't stop smiling. David Patel smiling. Yeah, they've had given a good shift. And Stuart Ironmonger, legend in South London, he's just in there going in against Josh Rowe competing. Got less than a minute to make his mark, and it looks like he's not going to get into attack. So, great,
beautiful sweeping move from
finish it
Claire
off. And that was good from Stuart Ironmonger against Josh, but the ball is probably going to end down here. And
unlucky from Billy Ashby. That was a nice
so
little
we've got
move.
like 7 seconds. Try and manufacture a shot. Nice ball. Oh. Okay. Goodall's got to put that up. Clint McKenzie's got to put that up. Oh,
one-handed.
Just hit it. But we've run out of time. And Beck, were the winners from that, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think they controlled the game really well, and they were just very clinical.
Okay, right. So we're going to have a quick chat with Adam, who's down at pitchside there, I see. Hello, Adam.
It's I'm here with Emily, big Beck fan. Emily, how did you find that game?
That was really tense. It got close way too many times. Glad we got the lead back though, and won finally to go into the finals tomorrow.
Absolutely, what a day for Beck. That was a really close game. They did well.
Yeah.
What are you looking for from them tomorrow?
I really want them just that one more goal. Obviously, we lost by 1 goal last year. If we can come back and just get that one more goal and beat Trojans, end their 11-year rule, I can't think of anything better.
Big day tomorrow. Back to you, Tom, in the studio.
Thanks, Adam. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to see if we can grab some players from the pitch to join us up in the
a few people
studio.
want to come up and have a chat with us, and I really enjoyed the game, and our cameraman's going to move us in, so just give us a second while we do that. So Jess, decent game?
Yeah, not bad. I think it was really interesting to see the tactics employed by both teams. Beck were really dominant in the second half, really showed that their shooting prowess. Like we said at half-time, I really wanted to see Claire Deek from Norwich driving and getting more involved in the game. It was too late though, far too late in the day for her to be showing that skill. And I don't know why they didn't use it more.
Okay, well, she did get into the game and showed how good she can be, but in the end I thought Beck perhaps just a little bit too strong, and I think we've got Rachel Turner coming in here. Come on in, Rachel, and girl, I thought you had a really good game. Have a quick chat with
That's
you.
okay. So how did you find that game?
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was really, really tough, but
Yeah.
it was really, really good. I think we pulled away a bit, and then they got us back, and then we pulled away again, and then they got us back, and then we just managed to put it up again.
So what is it about Beck? What was it that John was saying to you at half-time? What made you? It seemed as if you were playing maybe a different style in the second half.
Yeah, I just think we just got a bit. The first half we just got a bit wrapped up in it, and the second half, at half-time, you just said let's just play our game, just keep pushing, we will put away, but we just needed to keep at it. Everyone just gave 100% there, and it was
Completely.
amazing.
I mean, and particularly yourself, I thought you had a fantastic game. How are you looking forward to playing against Trojans? It might mean that you have to play against your sister.
Yeah, buzzing. We've had a few practice games against them, in the lead up to the playoffs, and it's gone really, really well. So, really looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Oh, thank you very much. Go get some rest, and hopefully, you'll have a great time tomorrow in the final.
Thank you.
Well done.
So if you can give Charlie your mic for a second, Jess, we'll just move it along there. Charlie, respect for coming up. It's difficult after a tough loss, I know. You guys didn't start great, but at one stage you looked like you were going to single-handedly fight that whole team and win it back for them. What happened in the beginning of the game, dude?
Yeah, it was. It's gutting, really. You work the whole season for these games, and then to get to the big moment and not play the way we wanted to play at all. We were nowhere near our best. I think we'd scored 6 goals in the first half, 2 goals in the first 15 minutes, and it just wasn't enough. And I hold my hands up for that. Like, I scored 1 goal in the first half. That's not going to win the league.
What happened at half time? I mean, without giving too many secrets away, but you seemed to come out really looking more like it. Was it a shout? As a shout you wanted, or was it a pick me up one, or was that a change of style?
I think maybe a slight change of style, but I'd probably have to analyse it afterwards. But it's more just, you know, getting back to the way that we know we could play. I think you saw it in the start of the second half. It was goal from both teams, because both teams knew they had to up it. Fair play to Beck. Blake Palfreyman was amazing today. He shot the lights out, but they were nowhere near at their best either, and they were ripe for the picking, and we just didn't turn up to do it, and that's a real shame for us.
Well, you had a great season. You fell short one, because I know you got the final last year, but really credit to you. So all the best for tomorrow for your 3rd and 4th playoff. Can you get up for that, Charlie?
Yeah, definitely. I think that 3rd place, it can mean a place in Europe, depending on where other people finish. So there's certainly a lot to play for, and just as much for just putting in a better performance than we did today. We want to show ourselves that that's not us. We're way better than that when we turn up.
Thank you, Charlie. If you give that to Jess.
Thank you,
mate.
Thank you.
So we're excited to be at the end of the first day of ever on Korfball on the BBC, but we're coming back tomorrow for another really good day. That's a show starting at 3 o'clock UK time and 3:30 Action Live. Jess, social media, what should they do? Where should they look to try and get involved with us?
Yeah, don't forget to share your thoughts with us. It's really important. We want to know what you think. Make sure you check out England Korfball. Check out the website, englandkorfball.co.uk. You'll find a club finder there. Have a look. Find out, is there a local club shoot? I'm sure that there is. And get along. Let us know what you think, because those are 2 really interesting games, but we've got a great final coming for you tomorrow. Please tune in. Be great to hear if you're planning on watching with us tomorrow. If you are, 3 o'clock on the BBC. So we'd just like to say thank you for joining us today, and hopefully we'll catch you tomorrow.
Thank you.